I should very much like to hold it again one last time.
Slowly back away while you point the sharp end of Sting towards your uncle. Holy crap! It's like, all joking aside, I mean, Bilbo nearly had a relapse there. Once a ring junkie, always a ring junkie. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time to continue our journey through Middle-earth. If it's your first time to the channel, I'm Johnny, you're watching Johnny After Dark. Last time Owen was racing through the fields to deliver a stabbed Frodo Baggins to Hugo Weaving, the only man who is able to save said hobbit. So let's get into The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Part 2. We pick up where Frodo wakes up in Rivendell. Let's get into it.
You are in the House of Elrond. And it is 10 o'clock in the morning. On October the 24th, if you want to know.
Gandalf.
Yes, I'm here.
What happened, Gandalf?
Well, that's an excellent question, Frodo. Gandalf's just chatting away matter-of-factly, like he didn't completely ghost Frodo at Bree. If I was Frodo, I would also want to know, Gandalf, where the actual fudge were you, sir?
Why didn't you meet us?
Ding, ding, ding!
Oh, I'm sorry, Frodo. I was delayed.
Embrace the power of the ring.
There is only one Lord of the Ring, and he does not share power.
As though this really needed to be said, Sauron really should have known better. A wizard should know better.
Frodo! Sam! Bless you, you're awake!
By the skills of Lord Elrond, you're beginning to mend.
Rivendell must be one of the all-time most beautiful sort of fantasy-esque type of settings of all time, for sure.
Bilbo!
Hello, Frodo.
Bilbo, you made it. Barely. You look horrible. I mean, clearly, having left the ring behind, Bilbo has caught up on his aging, or his aging caught up with him. But he looks quite content and happy. Perhaps, in spite of the fact that he's a lot older now, physically, the shadow must be lifted from his heart and from his mind that he carried with him due to the fact that he had to ring with him all the time. Not much is said about Bilbo's journey from the Shire to Rivendell. I suppose it was quite uneventful. How much time, I wonder, is supposed to have passed from the time Bilbo left the ring behind at Bag End until now? I mean, this is some rapid onset aging.
Bilbo!
I meant to go back. Wander the paths of Mirkwood.
At the rate you're aging, Bilbo, I would be careful of just going to the bathroom. Never mind Mirkwood.
But age, it seems, has finally caught up with me.
Packed already?
Well, yeah.
It's just... And I thought... Seeing as how you're on the mend, we'd be off soon. Off home.
Perfectly reasonable. But not if Frodo's got something to say about it.
You're right, Sam. I am ready to go home.
Allow me to give you some false hope, Sam. Meanwhile, in the back of my mind,
Gandalf, the enemy is moving. Sauron's forces are massing in the east. His eye is fixed on Rivendell.
Sounds serious, Elrond.
The ring cannot stay here.
Now we get to it. I've watched quite a few Lord of the Ring reaction videos. And quite often, very, very often, the moment this man graces the screen with his presence, everybody says one thing, and can you guess what that is? It's Ned Stark! No. Lord of the Rings came before Game of Thrones, ergo, here's Boromir, and that's the end of it. Thank you, bye-bye. Some people will chime in, there's Will Turner. However, no one's ever said anything like, oh look, there's insert random name of character played by John Rhys Davies. If that is his name really. I only know him as Gimli.
It is in men that we must place our hope.
Men.
Yep.
Men are weak. It is because of men the ring survives. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago. I was there the day the strength of men failed.
Now, hang on just a minute, old Elrond, old buddy, old pal. I've got a little bit of a bone to pick. The time of the elves is over. We're leaving this shore. Also called running away, at the height of Sauron's power, basically. You are just going to abandon Middle-earth. Number 2. You were literally standing next to Isildur when he took the ring. Why did you stand there with your elvish dick in your hand instead of stopping him? And then sit around for thousands of years doing absolutely nothing to find the ring, notwithstanding the fact that you knew the Ring of Power was lost somewhere. And then turn around and have the audacity to say the strength of men has failed. No, my Lord Elrond, I think you have failed at least as much as the men did.
Isildur, hurry! Follow me. I led Isildur into the heart of Mount Doom. Cast it into the fire! No. Isildur!
Well, there you have it. Elrond looked at the situation and surmised there was literally nothing else he could do. He told Isildur sternly to throw the ring into the fire, and when Isildur refused, he sternly shouted at him, Isildur! There's nothing more that Elrond could possibly have done to stop Isildur in any way. It's not like Elrond is a gifted warrior, had an army of elves there. No. And after Isildur actually lost the ring and died, Elrond did absolutely bupkis to look for the ring for 2,500 years. Project much, Elrond? Find the nearest mirror, sir.
Would have ended that day, but evil was allowed to endure.
I'm not saying that Isildur didn't mess up. Obviously, he did. But Elrond, well, there's absolutely nothing I could have done. You could have done a hell of a lot more, Elrond. A hell of a lot more.
There is one who could unite them.
Seriously, who reads a book like that?
You are no elf?
The men of the south are welcome here.
Who are you?
I am friend to Gandalf the Grey.
We are here on common purpose. Friend?
What's up with that dickish stare, Aragorn? Boromir seems perfectly pleasant. then you give him that kind of a, I don't know, weird, calculating, cat looking at a mouse type stare. Boromir being perfectly pleasant, Aragorn being perfectly awkward. What's up with Aragorn?
No more than a broken head.
Well, pick it up. This scene has unrivaled levels of awkwardness between these two guys, I must say.
You are Isildur's heir, not Isildur himself.
Same weakness.
He seems genuinely petrified.
You will face the same evil, and you will defeat it.
I just want to go there. I just want to stay there for a holiday. 2 weeks. I'll book one of these little... Well, they're not little. I'll book one of these... things. What do you call them? Cabanas? Villas? I'll book a villa. I'll have one villa, thank you, Lord Elrond. 2 weeks.
I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone.
Owen just has such a purity about her that it's actually quite, I dare say, intimidating. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think you immediately feel self-conscious around her. She's just this embodiment of goodness. I don't know. It's weird. Seems like she can look right through you.
I choose a mortal life.
You cannot give me this.
Aragorn is like, hit the brakes, Owen. We've been dating for like 2 months and now you want to bind your life to me and give up your immortality. Hit the brakes, Owen. Hit them hard.
You've been summoned here to answer the threat of Mordor. Bring forth the ring, Frodo.
Even after Frodo arrived at Rivendell, and I presume he's been there quite some time, he still hasn't given the ring to one of them. So everybody is quite scared of actually handling or wearing or keeping the ring anywhere. I mean, obviously they had to wait for all of these people that's here for the Secret Council. So how long were the hobbits there before everybody showed up for the council? And how is it that Frodo remained the ring bearer all that time?
Isildur's paying.
The ring is all together.
Gandalf has had enough. It's time to say things the way they are. Tell it like it is. I think oftentimes people have way too much platitudes and a lot of BS you have to cut through to get to the truth of something. I like straight talking, straight to the point. And this is exactly what Gandalf was doing here. Enough with all the formalities and running around the issue. Just get to it. We're all fucked if we don't get this ring destroyed.
Let us use it against him.
You cannot wield it.
And what would a ranger know of this matter?
This is no mere ranger. He is Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Ooh.
Have a dad.
Legolas name-dropping Aragorn's birthright there.
Gondor needs no king.
And Boromir's being a hot ass. Returning the awkward stare that Aragorn first gave him the previous night.
The ring must be destroyed. The ring cannot be destroyed, Gimli, son of...
Even Elrond looks like he's holding back a giggle. Elves and dwarves don't like each other in this world. Seeing a dwarf fall on his ass must make any elf smile.
It must be taken deep into Mordor and cast back into the fiery chasm from whence it came. One of you must do this.
I've got a suggestion. Why don't we get one of those big eagles to just fly it over to Mount Doom, pop it in, and we're done. Now, actually, Tolkien was asked this several times during his life. The suspected plot hole of why don't the eagles just drop it in Mount Doom is not something that was born after the movies came out. This question was actually posed to J.R. Tolkien shortly after he published the books, and he got quite annoyed by the question. I don't remember his exact response, but I do remember he was quite annoyed by people asking him this. My suspicion is that he actually did have a bit of a plot hole in the story there. People also asked, why didn't Tom Bombadil, being so powerful, just take the ring to Mordor? The answer there was, well, he's so powerful and so unconcerned with the comings and the goings of Middle-earth outside of his domain that he would probably lose the ring. Okay, fair enough. We'll give you that one. But the eagle problem is something that never really went away. You just have to sort of look past it, because Tolkien himself has never given a good reason, as far as I'm aware, of why the eagles couldn't simply fly there and somebody pop the ring into Mount Doom.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Meme!
The ring must be destroyed.
And I suppose you think you're the one to do it. I will be dead before I see the ring in the hands of an elf. So much now I trust an elf. Do you not understand?
I love Gimli.
I will take it. I will take the ring to Mordor.
I wonder if Frodo just sat there and he didn't say anything, what would have happened? I wonder in the end who would have been given the ring. If not Frodo, then who? Would they have gotten as far as to pick anyone at all?
Though I do not know the way.
I will help you bear this burden, Frodo Baggins.
You have my sword. And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Legolas like, oh, come on! I don't want to go on a journey with this asshole.
If this is indeed the will of the Council, then Gondor will see it done.
Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me. We're coming too!
Why? Why are you coming?
We'll have to send us home tied up in a sack to stop us.
A valid proposal.
Anyway, you need people of intelligence on this sort of mission. Quest.
You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right. Where are we going?
Is that Aragorn's mother's grave? I think it is.
In her heart, your mother knew you'd be hunted all your life.
Call it.
The skill of the elves can reforge the Sword of Kings, but only you have the power to wield it.
I do not want that power.
Too bad.
You are the last of that bloodline. There is no other.
Sometimes the best leaders are the ones who never wanted the role in the first place. Come of the hour, come of the man, they say.
It's so light.
Blade glows blue when orcs are close.
You can actually use it as a nightlight when orcs are near.
Oh. My old ring.
Whoops! Turn around, slowly back away, while you smile and wave, Frodo.
Oh, I should very much like to hold it again one last time.
Slowly back away, while you point the sharp end of Sting towards your uncle. Holy crap! It's like, all joking aside, I mean, Bilbo nearly had a relapse there. Once a ring junkie, always a ring junkie.
I'm sorry I brought this upon you, my boy. I'm sorry that you must carry this burden. I'm sorry for everything.
A good man touched by evil, evil, evil things.
Mordor, Gandalf. Is it left or right?
Left.
I feel so sorry for her. I can't help it. I'm like, oh. Peter Jackson, just the king of epic sweeping scenes. And I think these scenes do more than just show off the beautiful countryside of New Zealand. I think it really gets you to feel that you are going on a journey. I mean, the actual traveling through the landscape part, which is actually the main part of a journey. This scene right here, I think was in the original cinematic trailer. It was on the posters everywhere. This is just the most iconic scene of The Lord of the Rings, and I do believe that in the one of the earlier publications of the Lord of the Rings book before the movies, the book had Gandalf on the front. Obviously, it looked different because by that time Ian McKellen was not cast as Gandalf. It was before the movies, but it was Gandalf walking with a staff, and I think that this scene may have been created on the back of that scene. Perhaps it's just an accident, but this has the scene with Gandalf the Grey walking with the staff was both the main focus point of, in terms of the illustration in the front of the book, as well as the most iconic frame or still of the movies as well. This scene was in the Lord of the Rings movie trailer way back when, before the movie came out. I remember this scene being in the trailer. I had no idea who these people were, unless you read the book, of course. Then you would be able to guess.
That's good, Pippin. Thanks. Faster.
Quite a practical decision of Boromir to teach the hobbits some sword skills. They are going on a very dangerous journey after all.
If anyone was to ask for my opinion, which I note they're not, I'd say we were taking the long way round.
Which I note they're not. Get his wallet! These two hobbits, of course, are the criminals of the Shire. Last time we saw them, of course, stealing Farmer Maggot's crops, and now they seem to be robbing Boromir, Captain of Gondor.
What is that?
Crabine from Dunland!
Hide! Hurry!
The Birds. Wasn't there a movie long ago about birds called The Birds?
We must take the pass of Caradhras.
Nope. How the hell did that thing come off? Do you break the chain? Maybe you should find a little bit of a safer space to put that thing, Frodo.
Boromir, it is a strange fate that we should suffer so much fear and doubt for so small a thing.
Boromir already hooked on the ring. Completely. Becoming a ring junkie right before our eyes.
Such a little thing.
Boromir!
Just don't touch it.
Give the ring to Frodo. As you wish.
Yeah. Aragorn just about ready to repeat what his great-grandfather did and cut the ring from Boromir's hand if he needed to. Whew, that escalated quickly. Now, I've heard a lot of people keeping something like a parrot, but this is just a little bit ridiculous, Saruman, even for a wizard. There must be bird shit everywhere.
We must get up the mountain! Let the ring bearer decide. Frodo?
No pressure, Frodo.
We will go through the mines.
It mirrors only starlight and moonlight.
That's convenient.
Ennas Nagothim. Asto Bev. Amen.
Nothing's happening.
Would you like to phone a friend, Gandalf?
What are you going to do then?
Knock your head against these doors, Peregrine too. And if that does not shatter them, and I am allowed a little peace from foolish questions, I will try to find the opening words.
I don't know, where have we, I've lost count. Are we at 3 or 4 about, of the F-ups caused by Merry and Pippin? Literally throwing rocks in the pond where the Watcher, the squid thing, lives. That's on you, Merry. Where are we now? 3 or 4? I think it was... Okay, let's not count the one in Farmer Maggot's fields. Oh, that was a bit of a reach, but blowing Frodo's cover, lighting the fire on Amonsul. Okay, then we're on number 3 now. Throwing rocks on the head of a giant squid monster. Merry and Pippin. Here we go.
Do not disturb the water.
Those are some thick-ass doors. I want doors like that.
Soon, Master Elf, you will enjoy the fabled hospitality of the dwarves. Roaring fires, malt beer.
Thousands of skeletons lying around you.
And they call it a mine. A mine!
Okay, Gimli, get your head out of your ass.
This is no mine. It's a tomb.
Goblins.
And that, Merry and Pippin, is how you piss off a giant squid by throwing it with rocks, causing it to attack the Fellowship. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if Merry and Pippin aren't perhaps just like secret spies for Sauron. I mean, they're clearly working to jeopardize Frodo's life and the entire mission.
We must face the long dark of Moria. Quietly now. It's a 4-day journey to the other side.
Holy crap, 4 days. Last time I said the orcs can put in a shift. Scratch that. The dwarves can put in a shift.
There's something down there.
It's Gollum.
Gollum.
He's been following us for 3 days. He will never be rid of his need for it. He hates and loves the ring.
Those eyes to me say pure insanity. Just batshit crazy and obsessed and evil and creepy.
It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Pity? It was pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment.
I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
Write that down. Put it up against your wall and you can live by those words. I must say, one thing that I love about this movie is just some of the phrases that came out of this movie. You can, words to live by. 100%.
Behold, the great realm and dwarf city of Rivendell.
Dwarves compensating for something? That's a bit much. Impressive, but a bit much.
No!
When were these dwarves murdered and how long has it been since Gimli saw his cousin? Sometimes I'm a little bit unclear about the amount of time that's lapsed from one thing to the next in this movie.
We have barred the gates.
I had time to write all of this down in the neatest handwriting ever. Very straight lines, everything perfectly done, while the enemy was breaking down the gates, basically. I mean, come on, that's some neat writing for someone who's in the middle of a siege.
In the dark. You cannot get out.
Okay, except the last part. Now, this last part, obviously there was already an arrow sticking out of his neck. Perhaps he took an arrow in the knee. Okay, well, that's it. The theory is confirmed. Merry and Pippin are spies working for Sauron. They have been sabotaging this quest since day one. First, Pippin blows Frodo's cover at the inn at Bree, Prancing Pony. Then, they give away Frodo and the Ring's location to the Nazgul by lighting a fire on Weathertop. Then, they throw a giant squid monster with rocks. And finally, Pippin pushes this skeleton with a steel bucket down a pit, alerting just about every single goblin in Moria of their location. The theory is confirmed. Merry and Pippin are spies of Sauron.
Fool of a took. Throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity.
Stupidity or cunning?
Frodo.
Get back!
Everybody's just screaming. Yeah! Orcs go. Ah! Aragorn goes. Ah! Gandalf goes. Ah! Everybody's just screaming at each other. Even the cave troll. What is this? A screaming contest? Shut up and fight! Legolas flexing. Oh! Jump scare! Last time I made that face is when I got back a tax assessment. Holy crap, it really takes a village to bring that thing down, eh?
Mithril. To the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
That one kind of looked like Pippin.
A Balrog. A demon of the ancient world.
Well, to be fair, the Balrog actually saved their lives. Because there's only one of him. There was no way they were going to run away from those hundreds of goblins that already surrounded them. Once again, health and safety, clearly not a top priority for dwarves. No hand railings whatsoever.
Nobody tosses a dwarf! Not the beard!
Forward! Come on!
I'm sorry, anyone who thinks that was a moment of brilliance from Aragorn, that was pure luck. Aragorn weighs what? 180 pounds, let's say 200 pounds. Frodo maybe 50 pounds. Compared to the weight of that staircase, leaning forward is not going to make much of a difference. That was blind pure luck. I must say, this thing looks epic. Even watching this in retrospect now, for 2001, even by today's standards, this thing looks absolutely menacing and just, I don't know, terrifying. Awesome at the same time. Just look at it. I mean, who came up with this? This is fantastic. once again, dwarves giving zero fudges about operational health and safety. That's the idea of a breach.
The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun! You shall not pass!
Interesting thing here is that a lot of people ask why Gandalf doesn't really do a lot of magic. I mean, whether you like it or not, people always compare the two great wizards, Gandalf and Dumbledore, to each other. And, I mean, Dumbledore can't scratch his ass without using magic, whereas Gandalf really rarely, very rarely, ever use any magic at all. And a part of the reason is that, and I saw an interview where Peter Jackson was actually talking about this, and he apparently doesn't like the type of movies where wizards are continually using magic. I think he said something like that. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, Peter Jackson doesn't like the idea of a lot of flashy wizardy magic going on in movies. And even though Gandalf, even by the book standards, doesn't do the same amount of magic that Dumbledore does, or that you would assume or expect from a wizard, on top of that, Peter Jackson is not a fan of overmuch magic in movies, as far as I remember. So, number one. So if you're wondering why Gandalf doesn't really do a lot of magic, it's not just about the way wizards are portrayed in the books. It's also Peter Jackson who didn't really like the idea of wizards being too flashy with a lot of magic.
Fly, you fools!
This is a very sad scene, of course, and when I watched the movie the first time in the theaters in 2000, 2001, whenever it came out, I remember thinking to myself, why did Boromir stop Frodo from trying to help Gandalf? Why didn't one of the men, or the dwarf, or the elf, go to pull Gandalf up? Why couldn't Gandalf hold on 5 seconds longer? So many questions. And I don't know, even watching it today, it's like, surely someone could have gone over there and given him a hand and pulled him up.
Legolas, get them up.
Give them a moment, for pity's sake!
By nightfall, these hills will be swarming with orcs.
On your feet, sir.
It's quite interesting to note how Aragorn just instinctually took over the leadership immediately when Gandalf fell away. And it just goes to show whether or not he wants to wear the mantle of leader. It's just who he is. It just comes so naturally to him. Doing the thing that may be unpopular, but the thing that needs to get done regardless. Definitely a leadership trait.
Stay close, young hobbits. They say that a great sorceress lives in these woods. An elf witch.
Your coming to us is as the footsteps of doom. You bring great evil here, Ring-bearer.
Once again, the elves really give me this vibe like they know exactly how dangerous the ring is, but they just all sort of hide away in their kingdoms and avoid it. While at the same time looking down in a condescending way on men. Men like Boromir, who live in the shadow of Mount Doom, basically, Gondor being the first line of defense, neighboring Mordor, of course. A little bit of a dick move from the elves, if you ask me.
Here's one dwarf she won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
You bring great evil with you.
Well, deal with it. I was living in the fields in the Shire and working in my garden and drinking at the pub like weeks ago. And now suddenly the fate of the world rests on my shoulders while you guys just want to sit around hiding away in your tree houses.
You can go no further. You will follow me.
Haldir finally finding his balls somewhere. I have to hand it to the elves. They do know how to build a good treehouse. Although, clearly they are also not very concerned with operational health and safety. Where are the guard railings in Middle-earth? I mean, you sneeze and step backwards and you're dead. Ooh, nearly looked for my sunglasses there. Whew.
The enemy knows you have entered here. What hope you had in secrecy is now gone. Tell me, where is Gandalf? For I much desire to speak with him.
Why are you speaking like a moron?
What now becomes of this fellowship?
That guy looks like he's on some strong medication.
A lament for Gandalf.
Or after thunder, silver showers came falling like a rain of flowers. So it doesn't do you justice, Will.
Oh, Gimli classic. Everyone is lamenting Gandalf, and Gimli is just like. Sleep when you can, man.
These borders are well protected.
I will find no rest here. I heard her voice inside my head. She said to me, even now there is hope left. But I cannot see it.
Once again, I don't think people fully appreciate what the people of Gondor have to go through day by day. I mean, they're literally the line of defense, the line that stands between Mordor and everything else. And I really think that people could cut the Gondorians some slack. I sympathize with Boromir and their plight. And then you've got some other guys sitting in beautiful, picturesque, gardeny homes, palaces, talking crap about men and how weak they are and Gondor and all that. While meanwhile back at Orange, these are the guys affording you your safe lives.
My father is a noble man. But his rule is failing. And our people lose faith. He looks to me to make things right, and I would do it.
I think one purpose served by Aragorn going with Boromir. Remember, Aragorn grew up in Rivendell, constantly being warned about the weakness of men. The story of Isildur, his ancestor, who took the ring instead of destroying it, although Elrond did nothing to stop him once again. But I think Aragorn is in this journey with Boromir. He's sort of starting to sympathize a little bit with the perspective of Gondor. It's easy to look down on a people when you look from the outside and your view is tainted by the perspective, the singular perspective that you were taught about these people. And once you actually get a few different perspectives, it's not so clear as to who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. Not saying Gondor didn't make mistakes and Boromir is perfect. Obviously not. He has his failings, but he has a good heart and good intentions. Why are you sneaking around in the middle of the night, Galadriel? Maybe you want to go take a bath. And then my question changes to, why are you following her, Frodo, you little pervert? I don't know.
Will you look into the mirror? The mirror shows many things. It is what will come to pass if you should fail. If you ask it of me, I will give you the One Ring. You offer it to me freely. In place of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen! Not dark, but beautiful and terrible as the dawn! Treacherous as the sea! Stronger than the foundations of the earth! All shall love me and despair!
Okay then, Galadriel having a little bit of a moment there.
I cannot do this alone. To bear a ring of power is to be alone.
That's not what he meant.
This task was appointed to you.
I'm sorry, Galadriel. It wasn't appointed to him. He took it upon himself because your kin, the elves and the dwarves and the men, were bickering like children at a secret council. And so he stepped in. It's like everybody just like, ooh, we don't want anything to do with this, Frodo. This is your problem. You'll be okay, Frodo. Off you go. Shoo now. Quickly, quickly.
Do you know how the orcs first came into being?
They were elves.
They were elves once.
Hunt them down! Do not stop until they are found!
Never before have we clad strangers in the garb of our own people.
One small bite is enough to fill the stomach of a grown man. How many did you eat? 4.
Do not fear, young Peregrine Took. You will find your courage.
Excuse me, he's working for the enemy.
And what gift would a dwarf ask of the elves?
Look upon the lady of the Galadriel one last time, for she is more fair than all the jewels beneath the earth.
Gimli, you dog. Gimli's got game.
I give you the light of Erendir.
Sam, here's a rope. Merry and Pippin, here's some daggers. Legolas, here's a bow. Gimli, here's a strand of my hair. Aragorn, here's a knife. Frodo, here's a glass torch. Okay, that sums it up. Why is it when I see these rivers, I just want to go fishing there? There's some good spots. I'm sure. He looks like he's got some paint in his eyes, like he's squinting like he can't see. Maybe Sauron shoved his finger in his eye a bit. He's got some paint burning his eye or something.
I'm here to help you. I promised Gandalf that I would. You can't help me, Sam.
As Frodo grows weaker under the influence of the ring, Sam seems to grow stronger. You can see it already.
Frodo. Yargonath, my kin.
That's awesome. When you're shooting a fantasy movie, if you are unable to capture epic landscape scenery, you might as well pack up and go home. Peter Jackson, have to say this again, Peter Jackson just really hitting the nail on the head with the scenery.
We should leave now. No. Orcs patrol the eastern shore. We must wait for cover of darkness.
I'm sorry, Aragorn, who died and made you king? Gandalf did. Gandalf died and made me king. I'm just kidding.
Where's Frodo?
Yeah, guys. Where is the one person you were all sent to protect? Good question. Better question. If they're being tracked by Uruk-hai, why in the ever-loving fudge is Frodo wandering around like he's at the botanical gardens or something?
None of us should wander alone.
Uh-huh.
You least of all.
Boromir giving Frodo a weird, creepy rape eye look or something. This is the one area where Boromir, maybe, okay, he messed up. I can't excuse it, but I still like him as a character. I really liked him as a character from the first time I saw the movie.
There are other ways, Frodo. Other paths that we might take.
I know what you would say,
Yes, let's call the Eagles.
and it would seem like wisdom, but for the warning in my heart. You are not yourself.
Oh! Give it to me!
And he's back.
It has taken Boromir.
Where is the ring?
Stay away!
Frodo, I swore to protect you.
Can you protect me from yourself? Would you destroy it?
No, thank you, Frodo. I already have a much cooler ring.
Look after the others. Especially Sam. He will not understand.
Oh, you have no idea, Frodo, how little Sam is going to understand yet.
Run.
Salute. Bit more quiet fighting taking place now. Everybody not screaming at one another like the shouting contest we heard in Moria.
Aragorn, go! Hide here, quick!
He's leaving.
No!
Secret Sauron spy Pippin immediately trying to blow Frodo's cover again. Merry and Pippin only using non-lethal rocks against their actual allies, the orcs. Urukai. Lurtz. In the game, his name is Lurtz. Lurtz. I don't know why anyone would want to know that. That is not an arrow. That is a broomstick with some feathers at the end.
Then you did what I could not. Forgive me. I did not see. I have failed you all.
No, Boromir. You fought bravely. You have kept your honor.
The world of men will fall, and all will come to darkness.
I do not know what strength is in my blood, but I swear to you, I will not let the White City fall. Nor our people fail.
Our people. I would have followed you, my brother. My captain. My king.
Peace. Son of Gondor.
This was a course correction for Aragorn. And I think it sets him on the path to become the king of Gondor. The pact that he makes to the dying Boromir really affirms that Aragorn has turned a corner. And so I think the time Aragorn and Boromir spent together in the Fellowship played a large part in Aragorn realizing that these are his people. Whether they have failings and faults or not,
I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Write that down and put it on your wall. Those are words to live by. You can't choose your circumstances. You can't choose what other people do. But you can choose what you're going to do.
No! Mr. Frodo!
No, Sam.
Go back, Sam! I'm going to Mordor alone. Of course you are. And I'm coming with you! You can't swim! I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to.
Finally, Samwise, the metal of this hobbit comes through. And, wow. What a wonderful place the world would have been with more people like Sam in it. Absolute selflessness, courage, and values. He does it because he said he was going to do it, even if it kills him. Mad respect for Sam. Mad respect. And in part one, I held back in saying something about Sam, and when I see this scene again, I'm tempted to say it, and I think I will say it. Samwise Gamgee, to me, is the hero of the Lord of the Rings. The entire trilogy, I think Sam is the hero. Now, arguments can be made for Frodo, and for Aragorn, and even for Gandalf. And those arguments probably won't be wrong. I think an argument can be made for quite a few characters. But I think Sam is often overlooked, and he shouldn't be. What he did for Frodo is more than just remarkable. If it wasn't for Sam, Frodo definitely would not have completed the mission. Especially in the later movies, so much of the success of this entire quest was kept on track through the actions of one hobbit, and that is Samwise Gamgee. I'll go more into this in the second and third movies and point it out to you.
Oh, Sam. You mean not to follow them?
Frodo's fate is no longer in our hands.
The Fellowship has failed.
We will not abandon Merry and Pippin to torment and death. Let us hunt some orc.
After everything that's happened at this point and everything happening at once, I was quite inclined to actually forget about Merry and Pippin. It's like Aragorn is the only one who remembers about Merry and Pippin at this point.
I'm glad you're with me.
You have no idea how true those words will become in time. More and more true as time goes by. Okay. Well, so that concludes the Fellowship of the Ring. And wow, what an epic journey. I mean, what more do you want from a epic fantasy adventure? You have everything in this movie. Sure, a few editing inconsistencies, shall we say, and I think it's such a well-known story that perhaps people overlook. There's a saying, familiarity breeds contempt. And I think Lord of the Rings has been memed so many times that a lot of the original spark in people's reaction is not the same anymore. It doesn't have exactly the same power that it hits you with as it did back when it just came out. Back when no one knew that Sean Bean would become Ned Stark or that Legolas would become Will Turner. These actors were not as well known back then, and it was done so purposefully by Peter Jackson. He didn't want huge Hollywood A-listers in the cast because he didn't want people to associate the characters. He wanted people to get to know these characters as Frodo, as Sam as Aragorn. There are obviously there were quite a few A-listers. I mean, Christopher Lee, Ian McKellen, and many others, but you didn't see a Bruce Willis in there, or Tom Cruise. Can you imagine Tom Cruise as Frodo? Okay, so now there are a lot of those actors became much more famous because of, I think, on the back of Lord of the Rings, and the story has been memed so many times. It's just a brilliant tale. I mean, seeing it again, I stand by what I said so far. The best trilogy ever made. Nothing can touch it. Nothing. So, for me, I would love to hear your views in the comment down below. And if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and hitting the notification bell for more content. And that's all from me. Until our next video, which will be part 1 of The Two Towers. You have a great one. Bye-bye.